Joining us now for more on the debt negotiations, Senator Ron Johnson, Republican of Wisconsin. Senator, good to have you with us. This plan now, tomorrow, what are the prospects?
Well, hello, Lou. Thanks for having me on. I think, honestly, the cut, cap, and balance approach would actually fix the problem. I've always thought this is going to be a two-step process to fix the fact that we're bankrupting this nation. We first have to establish those hard spending caps, the fiscal discipline to force Washington, to force the politicians here to start prioritizing spending. I don't see it getting done any other way. And you said at the very beginning of the hour here, when you talked about these secret meetings, that is the wrong way to conduct business here in Washington. Let's face it, that is business as usual. And business as usual here in Washington is bankrupting this nation.
Bankrupting the nation, if anything else has come of all the focus over the course of the last several months on the debt ceiling negotiations and deficits, it is that our fiscal policy is unsustainable. Let me ask you this. Where do we go? Is it the Gang of Six plan? Is it the president's plan? Where are we headed? Tom Coburn comes out with the most aggressive plan of all. There's no part of it that seems unworkable. It's a question, as it is with each plan, as to what the political will tolerate.
What we should start with is we should start out in the open. And here's my primary objection to what's happened over the last 6 months is, Republicans actually passed a budget. We did it on time. The Democrats have not passed a budget in over 2 years. The president's budget was so unserious, it lost 0 to 97 in the United States Senate. Not a single member of his party voted for it. It would have increased our debt by about $12 trillion over a 10-year period. So first of all, I think the Democrats, the president, actually have to show the American people what their solution is. The Republicans already have, and we've got another proposal, and I think it's a very common sense one. Cut spending next year, cap the increase in spending over 10 years to put us on a glide path toward a balanced budget amendment. Then we'll agree to increase the debt ceiling, contingent on actually passing a constitutional amendment to the states to let the American people decide whether they want to instill that fiscal discipline here in Washington. I think that's pretty reasonable. We could do that very quickly. I think the American people would give that support. So what I'm hoping happens is that the House passes the cut, cap, and balance bill, and then we actually give it time to build pressure here in the Senate before we take a vote on it. I don't want to see us vote on this week. I want to delay that so we can actually get public support for something that I think would actually fix the problem.
We're putting up a chart right now showing the national debt, Senator, as you well know, doubling. From 1991 to 2004, 13 years was required to double the national debt. Only 7 years required to double it again. Right. And we're on a trajectory to double it in far less than that now over the course of the next few years. Do we have time to watch things ripen in this country, or is this thing just about as ripe as it can get? I mean, we are on the verge of serious fiscal calamity in this country.
Yeah, Lou, I don't think we have the time. That's why I think it's time for us to actually draw a hard line in the sand and say that unless we fix the problem, we shouldn't increase that debt ceiling. Yeah. And let me tell you, what the president's requesting, a $2.4 trillion increase in the debt ceiling, that's as much debt as we incurred from our founding till September 30th, 1987, almost the end of the Reagan administration. Our total national debt was about $2.356 trillion. That's what he's requesting, and we would blow through that in just 15 months. Now, am I worried about August 2nd? Sure, because the president has so scared the markets, something could happen. It would be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But what I am far more afraid of is the actual day of reckoning, when we're not the reserve currency, where we can't continue to borrow money to print money to delay that day of reckoning. That's the real debt crisis I'm concerned about.
All right. Well, Senator Ron Johnson, we thank you very much. We appreciate it. Good talking with you.
Thanks for having me on, Lou.